What's up? It's your boy, Randy, otherwise known as SKR Studios, and today I am recording drunk. It's been about 9 months since Clancy came out, and I think it was about time to give you guys another update on my ranking because things have changed a lot. Songs I had on the top are now on the bottom, songs I had on the bottom are now on the top. I love this album. I don't think there's anything below a 7 out of 10 for me. The only song I don't really like is the Craving single version. It's probably in my bottom 5 21 Pilots songs of all time, but that's not part of the album. I'm not going to talk about it too much. I hate that version, and I don't want to be very negative in this video, so let's just get into it and rank Clancy from worst to best. In 13th place, we're going to have an opinion that makes a lot of people angry: Navigating. Navigating has always felt like the most undercooked from this album. I see exactly why Tyler didn't really want it here. The entire thing feels very surface level and melodramatic, and there's not the same nuance and good writing as there is in other songs, especially when you go back to something like Vessel, which has very deep lyrics that are very personal. This one just seems very generic and like it was almost written by AI. I also really don't like the bridge. It makes the whole melodramatic feeling feel a little bit worse, and overall the song is cool. I like Josh, he shines the best, and the instrumentation is great, but I don't know, I've never really felt like this one deserved to be on Clancy, and it doesn't deserve to be in a lot of people's top 5s like it is. In 12th place, we have the Craving Jenna's version. This one has grown on me a lot since I first heard it. When I first heard it, I really did not like the voice crack, and I thought that it felt very basic and just too raw. I like when Tyler has effects on his vocals more, but as time has gone on, Clancy really does feel like their most mature album to this point, even if Trench is my favorite, and the restraint that Tyler has on this song, rather than making it something big and bombastic like Tear My Heart or jazzy and a little different like Smithereens, he just has him and the ukulele in the forefront, and that's it. It's a song to his wife, so it's only him in the song, no Josh. And rather than singing about their relationship now, he's singing about their relationship when it was first growing and first starting out. And you can tell. It's very personal, it's very sweet, makes me cry. It's not a skip at all on the album. Clancy has no skips. And yeah, I've grown to really, really love this one. In 11th place, we have Midwest Indigo. This one always felt like an outlier on the album to me. Clancy is all about fire and doubting yourself, and Midwest Indigo is about doubting yourself, but it's a whole song about Ohio and the cold, and we have so many songs about Ohio, and there's parts of this that are really memorable, like the "What's Your ETA" part and "Did You Pull Up Yet" part, but then there's also just parts where I feel like they don't need to be there. Like when he says, "You make me sad and second guess myself," it feels very out of place and kind of more telling and not showing, because obviously we can tell that you're sad and second guess yourself based on the lyrics. And I like the metaphors here, like you can be so cold as in terms of the cold, but in terms of also like feeling distant. And I like how the song is about how home doesn't feel like home. But in terms of all of Clancy, this one is one that sometimes I'm just not really in the mood for. It's not a skip. I still like it a lot, but it feels a lot like Shy Away, but it has sort of a Vessel flair to it. In 10th place, we have Backslide. I like Backslide a lot. I absolutely love the verses, especially the "Kinda Wishing I Never Did Saturday" verse, even though I think I like Saturday more than Backslide. But as this song goes, it just builds and builds, and I love the pan flute in the background. The only thing that really keeps this from being higher is the chorus and how screechy it gets. I like layered choruses. I love Overcompensate, and I love Redecorate. And Redecorate doesn't sound screechy like this one does. Tyler's doing a very, very high falsetto in the background, which just doesn't really mix with the other sounds that he's doing in this, and it's not one I dislike. I like how it's short and sweet, and it's 3 minutes, and it's track 3 and all that stuff, but the chorus really drags this one down for me. In 9th place, we have Oldie Station. When I first heard this song, I thought it was very boring. Then I heard the lyrics, and I love it. The instrumentation at the beginning, like I've said before, it kind of sounds like a rejected SpongeBob background track, but as the song goes on and it builds and the drums are introduced and Tyler starts to get more personal with what he's saying, everything comes together to make a culmination of what feels like almost a follow-up to Truce, where instead of him telling us to stay alive, he's saying, I'm still here. I'm alive. I've pushed through all these things and you can too. So not only is it a song to us and a song about how he's doing now, but it's a motivational song. And I absolutely love the part where he talks about the dance recital and you hear row, row, row in the background. In 8th place, I have one that has shrunk a lot on me since I first heard it, even though I still love it, Routines in the Night. This is the most poppy, basic, Blurry Face sounding song on the entire album. Obviously, it's better than all of Blurry Face, which isn't very hard, but you know, the way the drums go and the way that Tyler sings and the rap verses, everything comes together to feel like a song you would hear on the radio. And that's not bad by any means. It just has shrunk on me over time because it's very repetitive and the drums don't feel as real as some of the other songs. And you know, the drums are kind of the main thing in this song. I get why Tyler didn't want this one on the album, but I think it fits very well and I still like it a lot. But the repetitive nature to it and just the repetition of the chorus over and over again and the same beat just make it not as accessible as it once was and not as fun to listen to as it was when the album first came out. In 7th place, we have At the Risk of Feeling Dumb. At one point in time, this was my second favorite from the album. This might be the best Tyler has ever sounded with his vocals, like, period, ever. He sounds so good. The way that he sings in the chorus and the pre-chorus just really is a great progression, and it makes it feel like an earworm, and it's catchy, and it makes you want to listen to it over and over again and keep going back for more. And the only reason that this has shrunk on me a little bit is because the changes in the song feel a little weird. By the time we get to the second verse, I feel like it should be the end of the song already. I don't know why this one feels so long. It's only a little bit over 3 minutes. And that's not bad by any means. I like this song regardless, but that second verse about like the weapon and, you know, concealing it, it's good lyrics, but it feels like it drags a little bit. All right, from here on out, my top 6 is all S tier, 10 out of 10. One of these songs is in my top 10, and the other song is in my top 5. So here we go. In 6th place, I have Lavish. This song was dead last when I first heard the album. I didn't like the vocal performance at all. I thought the rap was cringe. I didn't like that Tyler said big flex, but that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be satire. It's supposed to be a song about fuck society, I hate the establishment. And if you notice on most 21 Pilots albums, you have the beautiful love song for Jenna, and then it goes right into the song that's like, I hate society, society sucks, I hate norms. And Lavish is probably the biggest proponent of that. The proctologist line makes the whole song even better, and the music video really bumped it up for me. I love how fun this is. I love how groovy it is. I love the instrumentation in the background. I love the violins. I love everything about this song. It's fun to bump and listen to. It's fun to show to people. It's just an all-around good time, and it's one of the most 21 Pilots songs that also doesn't feel like something they would make at all. Number 5, Vignette. Another one that has been going up and down my list ever since it came out. I can't tell what I think of this song because there's so much that I love. It's a 10 out of 10. The falsetto is amazing. It reminds me of Morph in that way. The instrumentation is awesome. Josh is killing it on the drums and the strings sound so good. But at the same time, that synth solo isn't my favorite. I feel like it's a little bit out of place and it just kind of like makes the song feel like it's dragging a little bit, but it doesn't matter because the way the song ends with "No, not me, it's for a friend" repeated 4 times, denial number 4. It just, you know, this song, the progression from the start to the end, it feels like the most cohesive song in this entire album. You can tell Tyler was cooking on this one. It feels like it's from Trench with the way it's produced, and you could tell that a lot of these songs. that are in my higher rankings, they feel more like Trench than anything else, which is funny because, Trench is my little baby, my favorite album. Number 4, Paladin Straight. This one has shrunk on me a little bit, even though it's still a 10 out of 10. It was my first or second song at one point from this album. But The Minute of Birds kind of drags it down a little bit. I mean, I said it before, but I absolutely love how every chorus is different. First, you have just the ukulele, then you have the ukulele and drums, and then the last chorus has the same instrumentation as the bridge, and that bridge is one of the most beautiful bridges in any 21 Pilots song ever. Tyler sounds incredible in this. Besides At the Risk of Feeling Dumb, I think this is his best vocal performance ever. I don't particularly like how the lore is hidden behind A Minute of Birds, but at the same time, this one is so fun to sing. It just pulls emotion out of me every time, and it's an incredible closer, so it gives me the feels, man, and that's why it's 10 out of 10. That's why it's so high, but it shrunk on me a little bit because some of the other songs have grown, and one of the ones that has grown a lot is Snapback. Snapback was one of the songs that was kind of like to me when I first heard it. Very slow, very ballad-like, but as time has gone on, I love the reggae feel. I love how the beat switches in the last third. I love the elasticity line. I love the messaging of this song. It's like Backslide, but done better, because Backslide is talking about how you don't want to go back into your old habits, but Snapback is telling you that maybe you have to go and snap back into the things that you don't want to do to better yourself. And I think that's incredible messaging. This whole album feels like it's about addiction and doubting yourself, and Snapback is one of the biggest songs that feels like that. I love screaming this one. I listen to this every morning when I go to work because it just puts me in a good mood, and it makes me feel like, okay, I'm ready for the day to keep going. So Snapback, you might hate it, I love it. But in second place, we have a song that has grown on me probably the most out of all of these, Next Semester. I don't like pop punk songs, really. I mean, I like Green Day a little bit, but a lot of their music feels a little stale. I don't like Blink-182, and I've never been a big fan of the punk sound. So when 21 Pilots came out with a punk song, it didn't really resonate with me. I thought it was the worst single that they released, but as time has gone on, the lyrics hit, the instrumentation hits, Josh is killing it on the drums, Tyler sings so well, the bridge is incredible, the way that it switches up at the end is one of the most inspired choices of the entire album. I always loved how at concerts they would sing the song regularly, and then sometimes they would go on the piano and Tyler would make the end of the song more ballad-like, and they finally started doing that in their actual songs rather just in live shows, and Next Semester succeeds at that so well. All the lyrics here are so memorable, so catchy, and at the same time it's a song about Tyler's suicide attempt, about him wanting to stand in the road and get hit by a car. And all of that comes together to make an absolute masterpiece of a song. One of the essential 21 Pilots songs, one of their best songs of all time. I think it's number 10 in my ranking list, or number 6, something like that, of all their songs ever. And man, this one blew me away once I finally understood it. But in first place, it's been my number 1 from Clancy since it came out, Overcompensate. This song starts with an incredible dance type beat where there's a riser and then it goes into the Bandito sample, and then all of a sudden the beat switches, and then all of a sudden there's a crazy beat that's stank face inducing, and you just want to like shake your ass to it, but also like you're like, god damn, this goes so hard. And then Tyler starts rapping, probably the best he's ever rapped, possibly, I don't know, it might be some of my favorite rap verses ever. He's referring to himself as Clancy. He says Josh Dunn on the first track of this album. This just sets Clancy up so well, and I've said it before, the rest of Clancy felt disappointing in comparison to Overcompensate, and it has a little bit of a different theme than the rest of the album, because this one's about being overconfident and the other songs feel more about doubting yourself, but it doesn't matter. This one is such a banger. It's my 3rd favorite 21 Pilots song of all time. There's so many layers here, but it doesn't feel like too much, like something on Regional at best would. It feels like they all come together to make something really, really magnificent, and just every little part of this, if you listen to the stems, it's just masterfully crafted. The synth sounds amazing, the bass sounds amazing, everything sounds amazing on its own, and when it comes together, it's not too much, it's not a mess, and it could have easily been a mess. So shout out Paul Meany for producing this amazing track, and thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate you guys being here to watch me rant and yap about something every Thursday. If you guys want to talk to me more exclusively, I have a Discord. It's in the description down below, and I will talk to you guys next Thursday. Peace. I don't want anyone, know me or not. See me at my lowest. You don't have to drop. Hey, you don't have to drop by. Nothing you could do this time. I don't want anyone, know me or not. See me at my lowest. You don't have to drop anything for me. Just keep your plans. I hope that you never have to drop. At the risk of feeling dumb, check in!